The day he sent the wedding card to his ex-wife seemed like a small and final act. But that one paper opened a door that no one could close. Stay with me. And if you like this story, please subscribe to the channel now. The man name in this story is called Chidi. Chidi was a man who had money and a loud voice. He lived in a big house in the city. He liked to show what he had. He wore new clothes and drove a fine car. People watched him, and he liked that. Chidi had been married once. The woman's name was Amaka. They lived together for some years. They had no children. They fought a lot. In the end, they parted. It was not a fair end for Amaka. Chidi said words that hurt her. They divorced, and then Chidi married someone else a year later. People in the area still talked about the divorce. Chidi felt angry. He did not want to be angry forever. He wanted people to see that he had moved on. He wanted to make Amaka feel small in front of others. That thought lived in him like a bad seed. He planned a wedding. He invited many people. He made the wedding big and loud. Chidi made a list. He wrote the names of old friends, new friends, even people he did not like. At the end of the list, he wrote Amaka's name. He wanted her to come. He wanted to humiliate her in front of everyone. Chidi sent a card. The card had his name and the time, and it had the place, a hall with chandeliers and glass doors. The card was like a challenge. News of the wedding card reached many ears in the market, at the office, and on the bus. People talked quietly about whether Amaka would come. Amaka read the invitation at her small shop. She sold cloth, and she measured for customers with careful hands. She looked at the card and paused. Her hands shook a little. She thought of the past. She felt pain. She also felt something else. Calm. She decided to go, but not for what Chidi wanted. Amaka had not spent her life only in pain. After the divorce, she worked hard. She saved money bit by bit. She learned new skills. She met people who respected her. She took a loan once and opened a small line of business selling clothes and helping with sewing. Slowly, her shop became known. People came from other streets to buy from her. When Amaka saw the card, she did not say yes because she wanted revenge. She said yes because she wanted to show herself that she had power over her own life. She wanted to go with her head held steady. She wanted to be calm and strong. She would not let Chidi make her act badly. Amaka also had a friend. Her friend was a woman named Linda who had moved abroad years earlier. Linda had a good job. When she heard Amaka would be invited to a big wedding, she called. She said, "Come with me. I will take you." Amaka thought it would be odd, but it would be good for her spirit. She accepted. Not long before the wedding, Linda booked a private jet. She wanted to give Amaka a warm surprise. Linda was not a person who liked to show off. She had this plan as a kindness. She wanted Amaka to feel respected and safe. The jet waited on the tarmac. It was small and clean. The pilot was calm and professional. On the wedding morning, the city moved with noise. Cars honked. Market women shouted their goods. People walked fast. But on the tarmac, the jet was quiet. Amaka put on a simple dress, one she had saved for a special day. She wore no heavy jewelry. She wore a small smile. Linda helped her into the jet. When the plane landed near the wedding hall, some people saw it. A private jet at a local wedding was a strange sight. Chidi's friends whispered. Some people took their phones out. The news moved fast. Chidi sat in the front row. He wore a suit that cost a lot. He talked to some men about his business. He looked through the hall doors many times. He could not help himself. He wanted to see the look on Amaka's face when she arrived and felt small. The hall was bright. Flowers were many. There was food on long tables and music filled the air. Guests smiled and drank and clapped. Many eyes watched the hall doors. Chidi imagined a small woman walking in, shoulders down, eyes low, like many in the crowd expected. He had planned his words. He had a few jokes ready, sharp jokes meant to sting. He planned to make a show. The doors opened. A hush came. The music stopped for a second. People turned. Amaka walked in with Linda near her. She did not run or hide. She did not shout. She did not cry. She walked slowly. Her dress was simple but neat. She had clean shoes. She had no loud name tag. She had a quiet confidence that filled the room more than any loud voice could. But the thing that made people look twice was not only the calm in Amaka, it was the jet that had landed and the small car that drove from the tarmac. When she stepped from the car, the cameras and phones rose. People whispered, "Who is that woman?" Some in the crowd had known Amaka when she had little. Now they saw a woman who had built things. Chidi felt his plan wobble. He stood up to call attention to himself. He moved his hands. He tried the sharp joke he had prepared. The words left his mouth, but the sound in the hall was different. It did not rise as he hoped. The crowd felt a new energy. They looked at Amaka and then at Chidi. They looked at the plane and then at the small gifts Amaka had received from friends. Amaka walked to the microphone. The room wanted a show, and she would give them truth. She did not want to make a scene. She did not want to win a fight. She wanted to speak to people and to herself. She began with calm words. "Good afternoon," she said. "Thank you for coming. I did not come to make trouble. I came to celebrate life and new doors. We all make choices. We all learn. I have learned. I am still learning. Today I am here to be honest and to be strong." Her voice was plain. She did not tell the whole story. She did not tell everyone how she had cried or how some nights had been long and quiet. She did not tell the details that could hurt. She spoke of work, of the friends who helped her, and of the small joys. Her words touched many hearts. People who had been ready to laugh at her now felt a different feeling. Some nodded. Some looked ashamed for their earlier whispers. Chidi felt the room move away from his plan. He tried once more to make his voice louder. He began to speak, but his words sounded small. He had put all his strength into making someone else look small. He had not planned for a woman who would stand and speak simply. After Amaka spoke, a woman in the crowd stood. She was an old neighbor who had known Amaka for many years. She said, "I remember when she sold secondhand cloth. She was always kind. She helped many people sew their dresses." Others stood and added small things. People remembered quiet acts of help. The memory of good actions changed the room faster than any plan of shame. Chidi looked at his friends. Some of them moved away from their front row seats. Some looked at their phones and did not smile. He felt anger again, but this anger was soft and slow. He had been the one with a loud voice. He had been the one to plan the shame. Now that voice felt empty. Amaka did not mock him. She did not call him names. She did not take the private jet to make him sorry. She had come because she wanted her dignity. That dignity changed what dignity means in the hall. People began to clap for ordinary things, for work, for bravery, for honesty. The applause filled the space. After the ceremony, people spoke in small groups. They spoke about how Amaka had carried herself. They spoke about how Chidi had tried to show power. Some of Chidi's friends came to him quietly. They said words that were sharp and clear. "You should not have done that." The words hit him. He could not reply. Later that night, Chidi walked home alone. The empty suit felt heavy. He thought of the invitation card he had put in the mail. He thought of the joke he had used. He thought of the strange quiet when Amaka spoke. He felt small, not because others had made him small, but because he had used smallness as a weapon. He had forgotten how to be a good man. Amaka returned to her shop the next day. She found customers waiting. Some people who had laughed now came to buy from her. She did not sell her success to anyone. She still kept the small things that mattered. Her peace, her routine, the hands that measured cloth. She kept learning. She kept working. She paid back the small loans she used to start the business, and then she saved more. This story is not only about a wedding or a plane, it is about the choices people make. Chidi learned that showing off money can hide weakness, not strength. He learned that making a show to hurt someone can break the person behind the plan because the plan shows more about the planner than the target. Amaka learned that dignity does not come from large things. It comes from quiet work and from the people who stand for you. Linda learned that kindness does not need applause. She helped Amaka because she liked her. The friends who changed their minds learned that people can change and that smiles can return. In our towns and cities, people rush to show. They make big houses and buy fast cars. But the real strength in life comes from the small things we do when no one watches. It comes from honesty and from the hands we help. Amaka did not use the plane to humiliate anyone. She did not use it to say, "Look at me." She used it because a friend offered help and because she wanted to arrive in peace. She used it because she had a right to be treated with respect. The plane only told other people what her quiet life had already shown. She had worked to be okay. Chidi acted like a foolish man because he wanted to speak from anger. He wanted to make a public act of revenge. That choice made him show his worst side. After the wedding, he had to think about his choice and what it meant for him.
Time moved on. People forgot some details, but not the lesson. Chidi stopped shouting. He looked more at his own life than at other people. He tried to fix things he had broken. He went to church and to meetings, and he listened. He learned to speak less and to do more small good things. Amaka's shop grew slowly. She hired a helper. She had more customers from the city. She sometimes smiled when she saw Chidi from far away, but she did not wish him bad. She had learned that peace is not the same as victory. Peace is better. Linda returned to her job abroad. She sent a letter and small gifts. She and Amaka stayed friends. People in the market told the story for a long time. They told it not to laugh but to teach their children. Be careful how you use your power. If you ever feel small or angry, do not make a plan to make another person feel small. That plan will hurt you more. Use your strength to build, not to break. Help your friends quietly. Speak plainly. Work with your hands and your heart. If you like this story, please subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, you help the next storyteller stand in the market and tell these stories to more people. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for listening. May you have good work to do tomorrow. May you choose your words carefully.